Funny
baby.
because I stopped by Myers to pick up my prescription, and I thought, do I need ice cream or do I have some at home? Because I want to use that scoop right away.
Good afternoon. Please put your mics on if they're not on already, which means that the button is pushed and the eye is down. So you could test it and then speak into it. Jean was saying that she tried to listen to our board meeting from last month and had a difficult time hearing people, so just reminding you. Yeah, put that in front of you, Sherry. Even during the township trustees meeting, it was like over there. All right, so we have an agenda. I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 1:01. Anyone willing to volunteer to be secretary? Deb Johnson's gone tonight, this afternoon. She's on vacation. All right, I'll try to do my best. So I have a call into Dana, but I haven't had a response yet. Hopefully she'll come right along. So we have the agenda in front of you. If you've had a chance to look it over, perhaps you have something that you would like to add to the agenda. If not, then I'll call for approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes, Deb did the minutes from the February meeting, which are here in front of you. I'll give you a minute to read them over. I like that she uses big type.
Yes.
Any additions, corrections to the minutes? All those in favor say, of adopting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Treasurer, do you have an update, Dennis?
Not specifically. I did want to address the fact, I don't know those of you that may have gotten the text. I know Ryan had sent me a text, and I think he sent it to everyone about, he didn't, okay. About that we are one of the few people that have a treasurer, one of the few, well, the only committee that has a treasurer. And I just wanted to say for our group here and for the public, several years ago, Alan Rosecrans really campaigned to get me on this board because he felt they needed a treasurer. At that time, we were very active, getting some money. Dan Waticha was the superintendent then. He and I spent hours and hours going back and getting some of the money that we that had gotten absorbed into the general fund. And so we got that, I think we went back 3 years.
Yep.
Possibly more, was it 3 years?
Yep.
And got that money reclaimed. We got a separate special account set up, so when we did fundraising, we could put into it. At that time, we were allowed to do fundraising. I'm not quite clear whether we're still doing fundraising or not.
We are allowed to do fundraising.
Okay, so, hence, the reason for a treasurer is to keep track of money coming in and money that we're expending. And so I wanted to make that clear. And those of you that want a copy of that, it said to Dennis and the board members, but those of you who did not get it, I will send it to you if you want.
But I wonder if you meant the township board trustees as board members?
I don't know.
didn't
Did you
receive
get it
anything.
too? Did you get that?
Jean, did
one
you get a text from
from
Ryan?
Ryan?
Oh, you did?
I thought we all did.
Not I.
Well, it said board members, but, so I assumed he meant senior service advisory board members, but.
I got something from Ryan. I got,
This is not pertaining to, the one you got yesterday or day before was not pertaining just to the treasury. Right.
So was this sent via text or email?
Text, I believe it came.
I
Isn't
didn't
that how it
receive
came?
anything.
I got email.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
I'll have to check. I don't remember if I got a text or an email. I thought I got an email, but it might, or a text.
So what was the long and the short of it?
The long and the short of it, he explained that the treasurer of the township is only required to give one report each quarter. But he said, as far as the treasurer on our committee,
Here.
he said, yeah, that's the one.
That's the one I got.
He said that since none of our boards or commissions are required to have a treasurer, we're the only one with it, the treasurer, if there's nothing to report, does not have to make a report. So since we've
No
had no money.
change, no report necessary?
No change, then no report, no money going out or coming in, then it's
I have
not
a
necessary to
question.
give it.
Did Jennifer transfer, there was money in that one account. I didn't bring my old treasurer's report that I did, but did she transfer the money out of that one account? There was money that was supposed to be transferred, and I just wondered if it had been transferred.
She was gonna wait till after the audit was done, and the township audit hasn't been done yet.
Oh, before she transfers it out?
That was my understanding.
Oh, okay.
And Dana isn't here, just to explain what's going on with the flower fund, if there's anything left. What it is, when you get a gift card, I don't know if you people have ever gotten a gift card and read that little teeny print on the back, but it says that if you haven't used the card within a year, they start taking, I don't know, $5 a month or something away from it, until they eventually eat it all up. So I asked Dana to check into that to see if we even have any money left on that card.
I think that I talked to her recently. And what little bit was there, she was going to send something to Linda, I believe,
Okay.
flowers. Evidently, there wasn't much left, but she can tell you for
I
sure.
figured there might not have been, because she wasn't aware of that, that clause on the back of the card, because it's so small print.
So that you're saying that the gift cards reduce in value by $5 every month?
I think $5 was the amount. I don't remember what it was, but if you haven't used, and if you buy a gift card, you can read the back, small print. It says if you have not used it in a year's time period, if you go 12 months without using it, in other words, they start taking money away from it until they systematically eat it all up.
And I did ask Dana if we could send flowers to Linda. And Dana indicated that would probably be the end of the flower fund.
Okay.
Any other questions for Dennis? Public comment?
I have one question.
Could you raise your voice? That's all right, just raise your voice.
We raised my no, Dennis, I want to make sure I'm understanding, because the minutes are a little, of course, my name's in here, but that's not where my name was. But anyway, it says you wanted the treasurer. Are you going to have the treasurer?
We voted last time to retain
That's what I
the
thought.
treasurer,
We
yes.
do have a
From what you were saying, I was questioning.
Oh,
whether-
sorry, no.
that's been-
Yeah, I'm still the treasurer. We voted on it last time to
That's
keep
what I
a treasurer on our
thought,
board.
and That's
Yeah.
what I, okay, nope, thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Question. Becca's not here today.
Sorry,
Becca's not here.
I see that. Okay, no public comment. Moving to old business. I read on Facebook that in a discussion about Norm Fastener, that the township board had decided to have a couple of special meetings. I thought they were town hall meetings. I'm not sure exactly. One is on Norm Fastener, this parts plant that wants to move to Bath. That's, I think, April 1st at 5 o'clock. The second one is supposed to be about the Senior Services Advisory Board. Facebook did not say when that meeting was. Ryan asked that we set aside time to come to that meeting as a board. He did not indicate when that meeting is,
I
when,
thought he said
I
it
have
was
it.
the fifth
I have it
Monday.
written down.
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, he's on it. They're all decided. The Park Lake,
and then the third one is on the Park Lake Trail, which is going to be on May the 6th. I understand it's supposed to be
April
the
29th.
fifth Monday of April,
Okay.
and it is supposed to be at what time?
I thought it was 6 o'clock.
That's when the board generally meets, is 6 o'clock, and they do not have a board meeting that night. Ryan did send an email to all of us recently. And so I emailed him back. He's out of town. He asked us if we had any thoughts on the agenda, that he'd welcome them. I haven't seen an agenda, so it's hard to know what thoughts we'd have about it. When he spoke about the focus of the meeting, he said, set the direction for the township and our seniors in '24. I don't really understand what that means. He asked the administration to gather data and make recommendations to the township board. I don't know if those are going to be shared with us before the meeting, or if just the township board members are going to have them. He went on to say he went on to talk about focus on the broader call for action that the committee has, senior services writ large, I don't know what that means. And then he asked if Becca had been coming to our meetings. So all I know is that April 29th at 6 o'clock, the township trustees are going to have a meeting that will be focused on, I don't know if it'll be focused on the senior center or the Senior Services Advisory Board. We did ask him when he spoke to us if he could help us understand how we could serve the township board better, because we are responsible to the township trustees. They are the ones who appoint us. We still don't really have an answer to that question.
I think, isn't that something that's going to be discussed on April 29th?
Not according to the memo that he sent. I mean, I would hope so, but that's not what the memo says, the email says,
If
as I read it.
Cheryl, will you get something for that meeting? And then could you maybe pass it on to us if you can see that we weren't copied on it?
okay.
So the next thing I have on here is an update on senior center activities. Again, Becca has been at our last few meetings. The first time she sat back there in a corner, and I asked her if she was here for the Karen, and she said no. I thought we should engage her in conversation, as she is the director of the rec department. She joined our conversation. The next month she came, and we had a brainstorming session with her, and those activities, a lot of those activities have appeared in the month of March, which is great. I don't know what is planned for April, but in an email that I received, I was informed that Becca was appointed by Karen to represent Karen at these meetings. That was news to me, but I'm glad to have her. I think she's been doing a great job, and
Has been doing a
people
great job.
really, really like her, and what she's brought into this center has been fun and interesting and exciting, and people like it. So I have nothing negative to say about it. It's Karen who's miscommunicating. The building addition, we looked at the budget for that about in February. We haven't gotten any further on that because the township board is not taking any action at this point on.
I thought we were waiting for a second estimate, because before we go to the board, we have to have 2 estimates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Weren't you working on the second one?
I thought I might, but I haven't.
I didn't know that was part of the, I didn't hear that
I
before.
thought Nancy was working on the second, because the board is gonna require 2 estimates before we take it to the board.
I haven't heard that.
I hadn't heard that, so.
Well, then why
I don't
don't we
hear
take
much.
the 1 estimate to the board?
Well, I don't know how exactly you want to do that. I mean, it's not on the agenda for their, it's not on their business agenda, expanding the senior center.
Well, but we're gonna have to take it to the board and ask them if they will approve the addition, right?
Well, it has to be a part of the discussion. I'm still waiting for them to tell us what they'd like us to do. We did get the estimate from the builder.
Right, and I thought that the board is going to require 2 estimates, I'm sure, aren't they, Marie?
No, the question I have with that is, when you're talking about 2 estimates, are you talking with and without a basement?
No, just
Okay.
2 estimates from 2 different builders.
Oh, okay. With each, so each estimate comes with 2 thoughts.
Right,
with
this
or
one
without. Gotcha.
This one did, this one came with a basement and
And
without.
without a basement, okay.
Right, but before we go to the board, we need a second estimate. Because I thought they required 2. If they don't require 2, then why can't we ask them to put this one on the agenda?
It's not even on their radar. We haven't had a conversation with them this year in 2024. I don't know exactly how to put that on the agenda unless Cheryl would do that. She's the only.
I can put it on the agenda, but lately, when I put things on the agenda, I'm completely ignored.
Well, and they're in no way prepared to talk to us about anything substantial. They can't even discuss with us what they'd like us to do for them. I just don't think that we can float this.
I don't think they even know we're working on an addition as opposed to an expansion. I don't think they even know we're working on an addition.
They've been reading our minutes, they would know that. Watching our meetings, they would know that.
They probably don't.
But they don't do either, I imagine.
Okay, why don't I bring it up as a subject for discussion? At least we'll get a big fat no, but we'll at least bring it up again and again and again.
And
Well-
maybe that's something they'll bring up at the 29th meeting. as
Well, I
well.
just wonder, if it isn't better to have an idea of what they feel our role is and our responsibility and what our mission should be before we throw something like this in at them. I don't know, I'm willing to,
But I thought to get on the agenda, we had to request that it be put on the agenda, an addition as opposed to an expansion of the senior center, an addition which is much less money than the expansion was gonna be. And I thought that had to come from our board asking to be on the agenda for the,
Anybody can ask anything, if I understand it right, to be on the agenda. Any public person, taxpayer, member of Bath Township can say, I want something on the agenda.
I don't think so.
And how do you do
No
that?
way.
It's gotta be, a board member can.
Yeah.
Well, I get ignored, so, but I can still try.
well, but if it's on the agenda, then we should be prepared to be there and show them the estimate ahead of time.
And then ask if they want another one. Ask them if they want 2 or 1. Bring the subject
That would
up.
be a good start,
Yeah,
telling them that we're thinking about an addition as opposed to an expansion. And do they want 1 estimate or do they want 2?
With it,
That
like,
would be great.
with or without a basement.
And the other one would
both.
be with and without a basement.
both from each.
No, but would they like an estimate with a basement or without a basement?
I would request, my request would be I want 2 I want to know if you want two estimates or one estimate, and do you want it with or without a basement?
Right,
Or both, each one with
right,
both?
right.
Sherry, what do you mean, when you ask to put something on the agenda and they don't put it on?
Yep. This is true.
So do you ask in meeting?
Oh, yeah, I
Change
raised,
the agenda?
yeah, yes, I
And-
did, and it was blown off
But you,
Once,
once.
okay. That's what
so, but the deadline for information to be on the agenda is, Karen has a deadline, I think it's Wednesday before the
Right.
meeting.
Yep.
So you have to get your request into her by
I
Wednesday,
do
probably in
Tuesdays.
writing.
I do Tuesday, and
Yeah.
I send it to every board member, all knew exactly what I wanted.
But at this point, we're not asking them to take a vote, we're not
No,
asking
no.
for their, we're just asking them.
What do they
want
want?
one estimate or two?
Right.
Good, thank you, Cheryl.
Hiring a senior, any other discussion on that? Hiring a senior center coordinator, it's my understanding the position hasn't even been posted yet.
I brought that up to Karen, I think it was in a meeting, and she said, this is what we have, Becca. She's
Well,
our-
Becca's not the senior center coordinator.
Then she said, that's what's gonna work. That's what we get.
Well, I don't believe that's true.
The
But
way I
we,
understood isn't Becca and Alyssa both
Who's
kind of helping
Alyssa?
out there? Isn't she one of the people in
the
the,
substitute, I mean, the
one of the
cook?
people in the, yeah, one of the people in the kitchen? I understand Alyssa's been helping
Alyssa's doing
too.
a great job.
And she's been helping
She's been
Becca,
making
right?
all the announcements, she's been working on the activities. She's doing a great job helping.
I thought she was.
Yeah. Any new business to come before the group? BOT update, that's you, dear?
We've pretty much gone through it, whatever, pretty much discussed everything I brought back, has been talked about. Nothing new. There will be next time.
Someone at the senior center today asked me what they're doing down the road here, and I didn't know. What are they doing down the road
On
here?
Webster Road?
Yeah,
Norm Fast?
Sewer, no,
That's, it's beginning Norm Fasteners, but it's there filling up, the sewer is part of it, the water supply is part of it. The filling up, the hole in the road has been accepted, where they're gonna level the road out, where there's a dip and there's a low spot that I
it's all in
believe
preparation for the
Kessler's-
Webster Road expansion. They're gonna redo Webster Road, and at the same time, they're gonna redo the sewer lines down that road. And so
And
this
water.
excavation right now has to do with the widening of Webster, the refurbishing of Webster Road and the updating of the sewer and water system.
Okay.
It's already been in the plans for the last 4 years. Superintendent's report, we don't have one here. Public comment? No public comment. Move to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
That was a
We do have another meeting before we have the, whatever the meeting's gonna be in April. So you turn these off.
estimate?
we do have the opportunity to speak
No.